Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Yellow Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Fury. I'm just kidding. The Dino ones are always easy to mess up though. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the accessories like we usually do with this. Just knock that out. As per usual, we have our human head, and this one is okay. I would say it kind of skirts on that line of seeming royalty-free, but it's fine for what it is. I do kind of appreciate that they have kind of an early season Kira hair one. I don't know how many Kira figures they could do. Oh, also, don't call her Kira. But I don't know how many Kira figures they do, but there's all kinds of hairstyles I think are available for Kira if they ever do any more figures. I'm personally hoping for the Kira music video one when they do Super Dino mode. Outside of the Terra Grip hands you have on her, you have one open hand, one slapping hand, and your standard effect part. You obviously have the Terra Grips, which are the main weapons, which are honestly fine. They don't look that great, but if you're being honest, the Terra Grips don't have all that much to them, so I don't have a problem with these not being the most detailed thing ever, because the Dino Thunder weapons, especially this one, are rather basic anyway. I think the only thing is really missing is maybe some little paint for the eyes. I think they might have eyes on that, but that is absolutely not a deal breaker for me. The only weak link for this in the accessories department, and honestly for the figure overall, the only thing I really don't like about it is this weapon. It does look rather cheap. There has been a trend of some of the accessories looking cheaper as we've gone on. This one in particular does look a little bit extra cheap, like some ways even cheaper than the basic figures, just because at least those you know what you're getting, but this one's proportions and paint are so like weirdly done where it almost looks like a squeaky toy. And I understand people's complaints about this, and I'm sitting here critiquing it. With that all being said, it's not a deal breaker for me. Like, it would be nice to see the accessories not take a nosedive a little bit like they have been, but it's nothing that's going to stop me from buying the figure. It's like really, honestly, insignificant at the end of the day for me. Depending on what's important is the figure itself, which I'm overall happy with. You know, I don't really have any huge complaints about the main figure itself. Like I said, the only real complaint I have about the overall package is I don't like how the main blaster works. Also, I guess it would be nice to get the Thunder Max Saber as well, just to have like the full roundabout of all the weapons. I don't know why I called it a roundabout, but you know what I mean. Again, not a deal breaker. Like, a lot of my complaints about the Lightning Collection are like worth clocking, but it's nothing that even if I wasn't a reviewer, would make me like, you know what, I'm not going to buy that. The Thunder Max Saber looks like a squeaky toy. But anyway, back to the figure. I think the head sculpt overall looks really nice. You can see I have a little bit of a paint mistake in the visor, just kind of in the corner. You can see it coming up there a little bit. But overall, I think they did a good job on the proportions. You have the nice white outlining. I think the coloring, the suit looks really good and well balanced. I think that the proportions are really well balanced. I'm going to be doing our classic comparison here in a minute of the previous versions, but it's definitely the best proportioned and balanced in the balance department of all the Yellow Ranger figures we've gotten so far from Dino Thunder. I guess you do have a little bit of an underpainted morpher, which kind of sucks, and this is kind of one of those things where I'm a weird Lightning Collection reviewer, guys. Like, I notice these things, and like I said, I'll clock them, and it's like, yeah, would it be nice if the morpher was painted? Sure, but it's not a deal breaker. There are definitely some figures in the Lightning Collection that have bigger, almost deal breakers on a larger level, but for these, they're just such small details that it's not going to prevent me from buying this at a more like budgeted collector figure. Like, this isn't a figure art. If this was a figure art or like a Medicom figure or something that I paid a lot of money for, then maybe I'd be nitpicking it. Articulation wise, you have all your same par for the course stuff. Your nice ball joint here, you have your elbow joint here, swiveling at the fist, swiveling up here, nice ball joint at the neck, swiveling at the chest and waist. You got the hinge joint at the waist and then the swiveling ball joint at the chest. Nice ball joint at the leg, swiveling knee joint here. You got your little hinge joint here at the foot. Obviously, you are going to be a little bit hindered by the skirt, but it's a decently enough of a flexible material that it's not going to completely block you off. Like some of the old Bandai figures with skirts, they would be like almost a hard plastic. So it will hinder you a little more than like a regular figure without a skirt, but it's not too huge of a deal. And I'm happy to report with this figure that I have no loose joint problems to speak of on this one. It feels overall really solid, and I'm just overall happy with the figure as a solid all-around package. Now let's just talk about some comparisons here, just for the sake of it, to get some perspective. Here we have it to the Legacy version, and you can see the obvious differences. It's weird because the Legacy ones are definitely exaggerated proportion-wise around the chest, but they overall are a little bit more like a better balance than the guys that are like the muscly ones. And the Legacy ones have some ones that aren't bad, and I didn't think the Dino Thunder ones were bad, but you can clearly see it's like the superior pick. I mean, just from the helmet alone, which the helmet on this one isn't bad, but it does look a little bit weird. It's also got a little bit of a lighter yellow color, so that one's clearly the better pick. And then the only other one that I can think of and know of and own is the original classic 2004 Bandai release, which actually isn't too bad for an old school Bandai release of this type. But obviously, this just kind of highlights that the Lightning Collection figure is the best choice if you're after a Kira figure. Not to mention, this release is nice because it does complete the Core 3 Dino Thunder team, which is really great. We only need Dino Thunder Black to complete the core team. Obviously, getting a Tricera Ranger, or Triassic Ranger, excuse me, would be nice down the line too, but it is nice to be able to at least complete the core team. And overall, this is an imperfect release, but it's overall a solid figure that I'm happy to have in my collection, especially since it goes towards completing the Dino Thunder team, and I now have the Core 3 Dino Thunders complete, and it's the best choice of the ones released so far. But that's about it for this one, guys. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for all my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.